Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to do a comparison between the Unity version of my game and the C++ version of my game because I took the time to make my own game engine in C++ and I kind of want to show off the differences between the two. We just recently put out a demo of the C++ game engine version that you can play on our website, so you can check that out. I have a link below the video where you can find that, but uh, let's take a look at the Unity version first and just sort of go over what the demo was and then see how it changed over time. Um, Let me move it over here so I'm not blocking it. So here's our title screen. It's actually pretty simple of a title screen compared to other ones that I've done in Unity games. And here we've got a cutscene that's supposed to play in the opening. We're just going to skip that. And you can see also I have frames per second and timer. So I carried that over to the game engine so you can compare that as well. We are getting a solid 59 point something frames per second, which is pretty good considering that I am recording this at the same time. However, you'll see that we have this weird screen tearing, hopefully you can see that, where the tiles don't quite match up, and it also happens over here, I think, sometimes. Yeah, it happens when we're on the ladder, it looks like. Only when we're on the ladder, so I'm not really sure what's going on there, but yeah, always happens when we're on the ladder. Maybe it's something to do with the ladder, but either way, we have worse issues than that, so it's gonna carry on. Now, as far as the game actually goes, so you sort of start off in that house, but then you come out to the forest area, and throughout the game you collect different spells that you can cast, and so those were 3 of them right there, and we can climb down this ladder. So let me just show off some of the spells. This is for attacking enemies with. We can also push this block off the ledge like that. We can create bursts of fire like this. And also send that guy out there to do something. But either way, see if I can make it past this bridge. There we go. Okay. Oh, whoa. Oh, I forgot I have a double jump in this one. I took out the double jump in the most recent demo. Also, I took out the missile thing because I thought that was kind of overpowered, so it's more of a close range attack now. But, ow. Hopefully I can just jump over that guy. So this is really the only level in the Unity demo that I had. I don't even think I even put out the Unity demo because I wanted to have more before we put out a demo. But then I decided to make the game engine, so I don't know if anyone even actually got to play this. But I was really proud of this boss fight right here, the programming involved with this. Because real quick, I will say, whoa. Oh yeah, you can charge your attack, I forgot about that. If you hold the button down, you can charge it and it gets bigger. So the way he actually attacks you in this is a total tangent, but basically he's got reverse gravity and then he jumps. And so basically he's got an invisible collider up at the top that acts as his version of ground, basically. And so gravity brings him up to that ceiling, and then he jumps every so often. So it's exactly the same code as her jumping, it's just flipped upside down, which is pretty cool. That's how he gets that parabolic shape and how he shoots the missiles at you. Anyways, a total side note on that. Let's go ahead and before we close out of that, I do want to note the game is running and it's consuming. I'm not really too concerned about the CPU usage, but it's running with 274 megabytes of memory being used, and let's just note also 2.5 CPU percent, sometimes 4%, I guess. Again, it's might vary because of the streaming software we're using, or recording software rather, but which is just OBS right now. But yeah, that was this one, and let's see also the file size on disk. That's 322 megabytes. So again, 274 megabytes of RAM and 322 megabytes of disk space. We're looking at several hundred megabytes each. So those are some big numbers for basically what only amounts to one level of gameplay. All right, so now let's take a look at the game in the C++ game engine. Same game, it's just different engine this time. It's our custom built one. And you can see the title screen is a little bit different. There's some more stuff on it. Let's play the game, let's start a new file. And here we are in the demo level. And basically each level is just a little area. We can go in and play around in each room. So there's actually multiple levels in this demo. And you can actually see, I want to bring this up first. You can see the frame rate was 60 frames per second. Now, obviously, nothing's going on real much on the screen, but we've also got our timer running. But if we just look what we have right here, it's 56 megabytes. And if you compare that to the Unity version, the Unity one was like 274 or something like that. And if we look at the actual size on disk, if we look at the demo size, that's only 67 megabytes, which I think the Unity version was a lot more than that. And I even think a lot of that comes from this debug file, actually. So if I just delete that, then we actually get quite a bit more. The PDB file is just a thing that programmers use. So it's even really just 50 something megabytes of hard disk space as well. Whoops. So, you know, significantly less size to download and size to run on your computer. Now, there is one thing I need to mention, which is that obviously making your own game engine, you can potentially screw that up if you have memory leaks in your code. Oddly enough, I actually had a memory leak before I made this video, or actually during the process of making it, I found it and had to stop recording but to fix it. And I think we've also got another one I found, so I'm not going to worry about that. But see, watch as I cast the spell here, that number goes up on memory. So every time I cast that spell, that number just keeps going up. So I think that may have to do something with, I think that has to do more with the sound than the image file, but I could be wrong. Because I don't really see why the image file would do anything. Maybe it is the image. Well, no, that's also making a sound. Because obviously it doesn't generate any more memory when I run, but it does generate memory whenever I, or allocate memory whenever I do something that makes a sound happen. But it's not doing it for, well, who knows? But that's just part of making a game engine. Actually, I think this, yeah, a sound is made here, so that would actually prove us right if that's the case. Anyway, you can kind of see just how the game is, and we can have multiple levels here. Now it went up here because I put the level editor on. So, you know, you can sort of see the trade-off of maintenance and all that, trying to make sure things work right. You know, and I want to be realistic here. I don't want to sell something that's not true. So, I think it's still really good, though, if you catch all the memory leaks. And I know for a fact that there's definitely some that I don't have caught. But if you look at what we do have, and obviously I would make sure this is all fixed before I actually sell the thing. But let's see. If you look at what we have, it's very easy to just drag and drop enemies and put them in a level. You don't even need to reset the level. I could just save this as it is right now. I don't want to do that because I don't want to overwrite the level file. But, you know, I could just do that and have a brand new level to play. So that's just one of the things I wanted with this, was with the engine, is to be able to just bring levels together really quickly and be able to test them really quickly in the game. So, but you can see, oh, I just went through that door. We can also navigate levels really easily, so I can just click on that button to navigate and go back here or wherever I want to go. So, you know, I'm really proud of what I have so far, and it's pretty darn good, I'd say. You know, just have to watch the leakage here. That's the only problem. But, you know, as I get better at this, that will be less and less of an issue. So, but I'm super proud of it. And now there's actually another part of this I want to show off, which is the other games that we have. So let's see. Let me bring up this other game, Cruise Ship Cleanup. This is one that we made in 2017. This is the Unity version of it. Now, I decided to remake this in the C++ game engine, obviously without the 3D ocean. But basically, I think it's totally doable. And in this game, I'll just gloss over this real quick. You basically you play as the maid from Detective Butler, and you clean rooms. And the goal of the game is to clean the rooms without being caught. So that is exactly what you do here. And you know, it's sort of a stealth game. And then your goal is to get through the level with at least 70% clear. So I did 100%. I got through that one, and you know, you just vacuum and clean, and then it's pretty cool actually. I actually kind of like the game a lot, but probably more than most people do. But I think it's a neat concept. But this was actually out on mobile platforms for a while, and currently it's not because of some issues, so I took it down. But either way, I decided to, you know, if we're gonna put it back up, I might as well make it better. So let's see how I did it in the game engine. And again, I won't really go through it, but the file size is pretty darn big in the Unity one. Well, I might as well show it. Let's see. I didn't do memory, but if we look at the file size, let's see what we got. Yeah, 43. Well, that's actually not that bad. 40 megabytes for that, it's not bad. But what do we have for the game engine? If we go back here. Okay, well, I don't quite have... Yeah, it's smaller, but not really that noticeable because it's a pretty small game anyway. But you can see, obviously, I've got... Oh, let's try that again. Don't press escape right there. So obviously, we have our level here. Now, this is built in the same game engine as the Kaneko game. So you'll notice that the buttons down here are different. So they're totally customizable for each game that you're able to make, which is what I'm hoping is going to be really beneficial for the long term. So basically, you have the same general interface of, okay, here's your tile setup here, and layers over here, and navigation buttons down here. But then you have like different buttons on the bottom for, you know, different types of things that you can put into the game and ways of messing with the game and the level. So, you know, I can just put some stuff wherever. I can put it right here, and of course the camera didn't reset, but that's fine. And also, you'll see I actually added a sort of a line of sight coloring thing so that you can see where he's actually looking, which is a lot more useful. But basically, all the general components of the game are here. I didn't actually redesign all the levels yet. I thought maybe that, like if I'm actually going to remake this game, I would actually want to add more levels to it and possibly redesign most of them and upgrade the graphics. Because some of these were hastily put together. Actually, my friend drew these, the card and the guy. I think I'm the one who put together the table and the dresser and the curtain, but those are pretty hastily put together. So I would want to go back, upgrade the graphics a little bit, and add more levels and better design if I'm actually going to re-release this one. So, but I mean, I'm rather proud of the fact that we can even replicate the game so quickly. So that's how you lose if you get caught by that guy. Now, the other thing is, in the Unity version, I think it took me, like, whoa, I don't know why he's up there. It's the first time that's happened. I think it took me about 14 days to make this game originally in Unity. He's glitching out. Yeah, so we also need time for testing that kind of stuff. I've never seen that before I started recording this, of course. There we go. But, oh, I know why. Because he's randomly picking the direction he goes, and there's not something to block him from going up there, I bet. So anyway, but that's just kind of how it goes. It took 14 days to make this in Unity, and to get back to this point in the game engine was 7 days. So I've only spent 7 days worth of my time in the C++ game engine making this, and I mean, that's pretty good. You know, obviously we have the benefit of having all the sprites and the game design and a lot of the code even mapped out from the old one, but notwithstanding, even if it took 14 days, you know, being comparable to an actual game engine is pretty good. So I would definitely want to dedicate more time to working on that before putting that out there, but I'm pretty excited by the fact that it's so close to actually being done. But the thing that I want to do is remake, before I do that, I actually want to put out Detective Butler. So we've got, that's just a chapter select for me, but basically we can just click through this. It's pretty darn close to being identical to the original. which was not made in Unity. It was made in a visual novel engine called ONscripter, which was sort of made for a lot of Japanese visual novels in the early 2000s. They used it a lot, and some visual novels still use it, Japanese. But it has a lot of incompatibilities with other platforms. So in order to get this thing on Mac and Linux machines, I figured the best way to do it, because it's OnScripter is only Windows compatible basically. So in order to actually get this thing on Mac and Linux, and possibly even Android and iOS, actually, now that I think about it, we could do that. The best thing to do is just rewrite the game in my own game engine, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So this is actually, it looks pretty close to the original, if you've ever played the original, but it's actually being, it's reading the same script, actually, almost exactly the same script, but it's in my game engine now. So, and I still have choices here from the DLC, so that's pretty cool. And that's just what we'll do, I think. So I'd like to do that instead of focusing too much on the cruise ship stuff or any other kind of game. But yeah, hopefully. Anyway, that'll be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If so, please like and subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments what you think about the games and the engine or anything that you've seen here. Or if there's anything you'd like me to do in a future video, just let me know and I'd be happy to take a look at it. So thanks for watching. And